Jeff and Amy here.
Hey.
Fulfilling a fan request. That's Five Nights at Freddy's. As you can see, this is Freddy, and he's looking a little interesting. This is my first try, so stay tuned for the end because I think this next version is going to be a lot better. We're starting off with some white color here. I'm just going to mix him up a little bit of orange just to get an off-white color. He's a little bit more difficult, so we're going to put some extra work into him today. This is for the bottom part of his head. Now he's like an animatronic, right? So we gotta make sure that he has kind of a separate jaw. It's gotta look like it disconnects. All right, grab back in the air dough bucket for some black. And we're gonna use that to fill in his mouth. Back in the bucket for some orange. We're gonna make some gold color with orange and white.
Ooh, that's a nice gold.
Yeah, it's pretty. You make a little, it looks like a Goomba from Mario, actually. You're gonna stick that onto the jaw. The bottom of his mouth should stick out. We gotta make room for the upper part of his mouth as well. Now, since he's like a bear, it's kind of like a teddy bear shape. It looks pretty weird right now, I know, but just bear with me. It's gonna get better, I promise. All right, and you gotta put that little divider for the mouth.
Oh, so many parts to his face.
I know, he's got a lot of steps. We're gonna press that mouth in. And I wanna try to keep the bottom part of his mouth open, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna settle down a little bit when I sit it on the ground, but we'll see how it goes here. And you gotta make some pretty deep eye sockets for his eyes if you don't want him to bulge out too much. And again, Freddy's got that really creepy vibe, so he needs some black in those eye sockets because that's why he looks so creepy, right? He's got those black lines around his eyes.
Okay, so pop quiz for you.
Oh gosh.
Which character's eyes does he acquire after needing a little tune-up?
Okay, well, disclaimer, I don't actually play this game, but that answer is, I have no idea.
It's actually Roxy's. Yeah, so then
Roxy.
he kind of just goes on with her eyes after he gets fixed up in the parts and service.
Well, I guess I need to play this game because it does look pretty cool when I look at all the characters online. So
Yeah, it does look really cool.
doing my best to do Freddy here. So we're gonna dive back into the bucket for some blue and green to make this aqua color. He's got kind of like a mask around his face in the newest Security Breach game, so I'm just doing that version of him, as you can see. This, if I were to do this build again, I would do it differently. I would say this is probably a pretty difficult way to do it. The way I'm trying to piece all these little bits in there like that. I should have laid down one flat piece and put the eyes over it, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's looking good so far.
Thank you. All right, now I need to use a little bit of red for the outline on the mask. And again, this is really tedious work. I don't think there's a better way to do it than this, but Amy, if you have any ideas, let me know.
Yeah, I probably would have flattened just like a flat part and then maybe did the blue first and then the red. But I mean, again, it's like a lot of detail going on his animatronic face.
Yeah, it's tough. Speaking of animatronics, you got to put these little eyelids on. So he's got that creepy Chuck E. Cheese vibe where his eyes are kind of like half closed. These little black bits I'm putting on his ear holes are to make sure that the ears aren't just directly attached to his head. Freddy's ears kind of stick out a little bit. It's like there's a mechanism in between. It makes him look a little bit more robotic.
I was just going to say he's starting to look more robotic.
Yeah.
With those ears.
You might need a little bit of water here if your dough got too dry, but mine's pretty okay. And this is for the eyebrows now. Just helps give them some expression. Cool. Okay, now it's time for the body. We're gonna use more of that gold color I made before. And you just want to roll up your little ball of air dough into kind of like a flat, little lopsided shape. Make a little spot for his neck. And it's all about deciding what kind of proportion you want to make. Mine's going to be kind of like short and squatty. You saw it at the beginning. It's kind of goofy looking. This one's going to look a little better than my first try.
Okay, I got another little question for you.
Oh, I'm not ready for this.
Where does Gregory hide? This may be a spoiler alert, but where does he hide in the game?
The closet?
Actually, he like opens up the chest cavity of Freddy there and just like climbs right in.
That sounds frightening. Actually, everything about this game looks really creepy, so I'm definitely going to have to try it out after doing this build. Okay, you can see I'm doing the arms now. He's got little arm bracelets, so just put little discs on there, and that'll give me a spot to attach his little fists to. So I'm doing a pretty simplified version of his lower body. It's more about detail on the face for this one. Goes. Stick those arms on there. See what I mean? He's pretty short and squat. So it's more about the head.
But it definitely helps balance out his body, like, because he's going to be standing up on his own.
Yeah, sometimes it's tough to get characters to stand up, so you have to make sure you build them in a way that they have enough support on their lower body. All right, we're trying out a technique here with that lightning bolt on his chest, and I smashed it down. It was too rounded, so I had to cut off some details there, but that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it still works.
Yeah. All right, and he's got a little bow tie. Oh, he's a fancy boy, so I've got the pieces ready for that. And this is a little neck piece I made. Again, he's like a robot. There should be something in between his neck and his body, and that also helps me pose him when I decide how I want his head to be angled. There we go. All right, there's a spot for a little bow tie. I'm gonna just stick those little bits in there.
Oh, he's so fancy.
He's ready to go to the party. I don't think.
At the Megaplex.
Does he have a band? Guys, let me know in the comments. I'm not really sure. Is there a band? Is it like Chuck E. Cheese? I need to check out this game. All right, we're getting close now, actually. This is his little top hat. It's a little top hat. It's not very big. Just gotta get the little details on here.
Oh, I like how you're stacking it, kind of like with cylinders there.
Yeah, that's not too hard. Here it goes. Okay, it's ear piercing time. I debated whether or not I wanted to do this. It has to happen though.
Oh my gosh.
Ouch, sorry, Freddy. I know that hurts, but it's worth it.
He's like legitimately getting his ear pierced.
He really is. I'm not faking it here, guys. All right, now this has to be really, really skinny, and this is tough. So it just takes a little patience. There we go.
Oh, he is looking way cooler with that ear piercing.
These are these little shoulder pads. They kind of look like little Pringles, actually.
It does.
Yeah. And the last step are the teeth. He's got a lot of teeth, but I'm only gonna put 2 on there. There we go. He looks so good. Yay.
That one got me.
Puppet coming in for the creep scare.
That was good.
All right, that's Freddy from Five Nights at Freddy's. Thanks for tuning in this week. Make sure you're subscribed to see all of our latest content, and throw us a like if you liked it, and let us know if you have any suggestions for new characters for us to build next week. See you next time.